What's happening, guys? So today's a good show. I have a couple of entries I'm taking right now on the show. I'm starting to build a couple of long positions. You guys know I've been trading quite a bit over the last week or two. And for me, the main thing here is just to continue building the trading accounts while we wait for the long term to grow. So I want to show you guys trades that I'm in. I'm starting to look to get ready to long Zcash. I'm looking to long Dash. I'm looking to long open up 2 bots within the show as well. I'm going to be deploying bots. I'm going to be deploying a Bitfunded account as well. So there is a lot for us to talk about today. I do think Bitcoin's got a lot of good support in the area that we are at now. And I do think we are getting ready for a nice little push to the upside. So we need to look at what's strong in the market when it specifically comes to trading. And I want to show you guys the positions that I'm building, the sizes that I'm building, the tokens that I'm choosing while we wait for the long term. And I'll speak a little bit around the long term as well to kind of see where are we at, what can we expect for the rest of the week when it comes to the rest of the market. But for me, I move to where the money's at right now, and I'm going. I'm in full blast mode, and I'm pushing through. Market slows down. I'm speeding up, head nice and strong. So let's chat about it. So guys, missed you lots. So hope you're having a great day so far. No more wasting time. Let's go.
I try and help everyone in my space, and this is what I get. I try and fight the devils, but inside I'm just like 𝗦𝗏𝗡𝗏. Welcome to Sheldon Show.
Alrighty, Banter fam, what's happening? Smash the like button if you're still here and strong. So what I just went long on is Zcash, guys. Now the key here is to not go all in on these tokens. So I'm giving this to you right now to let you know that I've literally just gone long. I went long about an hour ago with a small amount of the portfolio. I managed to catch a little bit at the bottom. Now we're starting to break some trends. So I've just recently, 5 minutes ago, just started adding some more. I'm going to explain to you guys the trade, explain to you the setup, how I'm kind of doing it. But right now I am trading on a 10x leverage. You've got to be careful with this coin. It's quite volatile. So just from the bottom to where we are now, is already 4%. So the key here is to not trade with all your capital, to actually ladder in. And what you could see is we've actually been spending this morning. We took a bunch of money out of the accounts. I am a little bit down for the day. I think I'm around $8,000 down. I got stopped out a little bit earlier. But ultimately, I'm building up again now. And you can see that I still have around $58,000 of cash available. So I'm basically in around $28,000 out of basically $100,000 account. So if you have $1,000, for me, I'm basically entering $280 of that on a 10x. Obviously, giving you a little bit more size. This token is not really about trading all of your capital. If you manage to get all of it in, that's cool. But you don't always expect to get your full positions in, because if you get it incorrect, your stoppages can be quite big, right? Your losses. So the key here is to build up. But I want to quickly give you guys this trade as I've just taken it. I've taken it here. I've also taken it on 𝗏𝗏𝗡 over here as well. This one did get stopped out. I think I am down about $1,000 from where I got stopped. So I'm up here 6K, but I did lose around 5K but earlier. So I'm actually up around $1,000. I took out $2,000 yesterday for a tweet, guys. Just want to let you guys know where things are kind of heading from here. So opening up a 𝗏𝗏𝗡 account, you could see here we did this over here where we're doing this giveaway. If you have a 𝗏𝗏𝗡 account and you've deposited, I'm just going to be taking profits from my trading account and putting them into your account. They're real dollars. You can go pull it out if you want. You can do it anything, or you can trade it, build it up. You can take it out, go buy yourself something nice. Doesn't matter, right? So again, open up a 𝗏𝗏𝗡 account, link below in the description, just letting you guys know that as I'm trading, this whole purpose of this account was to give a lot of this money away. It's Christmas time now. Let's make difference. I'm working hard on the trading. You can see the amount of errors here of when we get to crunch time of me working really hard. So let's go through that quickly. Let's actually quickly go through the trade first. You guys happy with that? Pop yeses in the chat. I'm going to go through the trade first, and then I'll go through Bitcoin and the rest of the altcoin markets. Let me know. Get the chats rolling. We need to get vibes up in here. Views are low, sentiment's low. Make Sniper Fam the strongest family in the world. Let's get it up. Get up. Are we good at that? I can go with the trade. Yes. Okay. Let's start off with the trade quickly. So let me explain to you guys where I'm at with the trade. This is Zcash. Okay, so this is the last bit of support. Otherwise, Zcash is going to have a bigger pullback, right? If we look at from the tops of where we are now, okay, we are currently down 34% from the highs, and with the drop, we are down 38% of the highs. Now, the problem of why it was not going up too much yet, and I kind of knew that we were going to have a secondary high here. This is why after taking the profits last week, I didn't really FOMO back into the markets. I got one little trade here, which was good, but then I just sat on cash, and I only just started deploying again this morning. And the reason being is if you kind of look at the breakout, right, we started moving very strong. Now, the important thing here, guys, is to remember that when a token is moving in a certain momentum, right, that's the momentum. It actually sped up quicker. And you can see that we've just come back down to the momentum. Right, so this is kind of an important thing, but you got to realize that this token will be going up in levels, right? It will be going up in certain levels. So what I mean by that is if you look at where we started this pump, we started here, we then rejected, and then we broke through. Once we broke through, we came back down, we retested, right? Then we went back up, we didn't get through the high. Next attempt, we got through the high, right? And then what happened? We broke through, we came down, and we hit it over there. Right, and you can just see as this token passes levels, how it comes down and tests them as support. You guys see that? You see how it's literally stairs to the upside, because that's what you want to see as a token that is moving aggressive, moving nice and strong, that it passes a level, turns it into support, passes a level, turns it into support, passes a level, turns it into support, right? And then we went for another push to the upside. So for me, the important thing here was when we were anywhere here, we did not bounce on any of the previous supports, and the supports are sitting right down over here, right? And that is literally where we are right now. That's where my whole understanding or where I'm looking to plan my trades in this area over here. Because if we don't hold this area, we're going down to this area, right? If not mid-range as well. So I'm never afraid of where I want to enter, but I need to know if I get it wrong, where's it going to go next? I want to save money for the bigger trade, okay? Because if we trade from here, as an example, let's just get this in over here. From here, we trade here, good amount of money. But if this comes down and goes from here to here, this is even bigger, right? So I never sit here and be upset if I do get stopped, as long as I get stopped and the next trade is worth it. That's perfectly fine. Right. Therefore, this morning, I opened up my accounts. Okay. I lost $5,000 or $6,000 on the first trade. Right. That's not a loss. The reason why it's not a loss is judge me at the end of the day. Right. That was me fishing at the first area. I was fishing at this area over here because maybe there was a nice little higher low in play. So there was this trend line here, and that's where I started my first fishing. From there, we lost it. We came all the way down to this area. This is where I fish again. If we lose this, I know we come down over here. Right. But when I get the win, the wins are far bigger than the losses, right? So now I know this is a hot zone. The next thing I want to do as well is have a look at RSI, specifically the time frame that I'm looking for. So if I look at my schedule this week, I'm busy with a bunch of shoots. I leave for Portugal on Thursday. I'm going to be flying. I'm going to be doing these type of things, right? So when that comes through, it means that, okay, to day trade right now, okay, it's going to be okay for today, maybe tomorrow, but for the rest of the week, it's going to be a bit tough. So maybe there's an opportunity for me to build the trade now and actually hold it for a couple of days, possibly, right? Therefore, the 4 hour is the time frame that I'm paying attention to for that. So when I'm looking at, okay, we're in a hot zone, I want to make sure that the correct time frame, okay, is oversold. And you can see we are here at the bottom now. So that's a good sign that this is at the bottom and we had a green box. Now what I do is I zoom in, okay, and I pay attention to what's currently happening. Okay, so I know that's a hot zone. So what I'm looking for next now is trend breaks. Okay, I'm just explaining to you guys the whole thought here. Okay, which means that in this hot zone, this could be a time for me to enter a trade. Sure, but I know it's very important for me not to put in too much capital just yet. The key here is to get something in. Therefore, we start to break trend. I can add more in, and because I got the first entry, it will help me average out the rest of mine if I want to fill the entire position. Okay, so the first sign that I was looking for was for us to break this trend. All right, so this was my trigger point. My trigger point was, okay, we're in a hot green zone. I have this first trend that's coming down here. Okay, we are still 36 minutes. It's not certain this will break just yet. So I'll explain to you guys the process if it doesn't, right? But that is why I took the first trigger. Is this the real breakout? No, it is not. That's why I'm not going all in or anything like that. The reason is if you zoom out one more time, there is another trend line. That is the real breakout, okay? So what that means for me is I want to paint a story, okay? And I want to have an understanding of a trade when I take a trade. And when I'm showing you guys this, it's the same thing if you're an investor. You're just using weekly timeframes, but the trends and the styles and all the different techniques and tools that we use are very much the same, right? How's your golf game going? Let's not talk about that. That's another game that's driving me nuts. Feels like I'm playing with no stop loss, so I'm either good or I'm like 2 years back. Golf is golf. But here we go. So what this paints a picture for me here on this trade and how I'm planning it is I'm just fishing for a first entry. Once I get my first entry, what I'm looking for is it's very likely we're going to pop, very likely we're going to reject, and very likely then we'll break out. Okay, so that's the plan. Now that's why I have two trend lines in play. The one to help me get a little bit of an earlier entry. Okay, this will give me a good amount of profits just to show you guys percentage wise, right, of how big. That's already 6-7%, right? On a 10x, that's already 60-70% of the. Remember, I'm not all in on the position size. It's very, very, very important, right, to know that. Once I'm in there and we push up there, it gives me an ability that once we here and we drop, I can move my stop loss to entry and remove risk of the trade. Okay, then I'm happy. Once we break this trend, I can then buy in more to move my entry price over here. So what does that mean? That means if we look at my actual trades right now, so here, okay, I'm sitting currently with around $30,000 or $28,000 in right now. Okay, when we get there and we break out that trend that I spoke about, this one over here, it gives me ability to add more to the trade. But what I need to control is my entry price. So if you look at this over here, and you have your entry price. So my entry price is at $477 is my average entry price, right? My first buy was at 471. My second buy was at 484. Okay, I bought a bit of cash here and a bit of cash here. Therefore, it averaged it out, right? So that's where my average is sitting. So when you're looking to build your positions and add more to make a position bigger, you always need to control where you are leaving your average entry price, right? Because that is ultimately where you're going to be leaving your stop loss. Okay, so if we start to break out from this over here, okay, the key thing for me is to make sure that I can basically move my stop loss to this area here, which means I can also have my average entry price at this area over here too, and just have my stop loss just in profits, right? So I don't lose cash if it reverses on me at any point. Now, what that means is if I am sitting with $28,000 of buying power that I've bought already over here, let's just put it in, and I buy another 28,000 over here, it's very likely it's going to put my average entry price here in the middle. Okay, which means that I will be able to not get my entire position in, but I'll be able to get up to at least 60% of my position in on that current plan. Okay, then what I'm looking for is a pop from here to the mid-range. The mid-range is 12%. Okay, now 12% on that over there will make me $65,000 on my 50-something thousand dollars. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not using all my capital. I'm laddering in. Okay, I have not won this trade just yet. I'm not a winner. It's not good winner. I'm fishing, right? But the same thing. So let's paint the next scenario out here quickly. Okay, from here, well, guys, you're going to love when live trading's back, right? It's going to be good. Okay, from here, we go down here now. Same thing happens. I get stopped out. I take my minimal loss. It's a temporary loss. It's not a real loss yet, right? But what that means is if this then drops, the trend line still continues, right? I have my next area of where we are going to possibly bounce. The trend will go into play, and then same thing. You draw this trend, break from here to this trend, but you see what I'm doing. So I'm spending a couple of hours focusing on my entry. That's what I'm really focusing on, right? Once I've won that battle and I can remove my risk, now I focus on making the money, right? Now I focus on, okay, how big can I build this? How much can I make? right? Type of thing. But ultimately, you can see that I'm not looking to use all of my money, but I'm looking to trade up to $60,000 in profits. That's what I'm looking to build. Does not mean out of that I didn't give away $10,000. And remember, guys, just treat, if I'm treating $100,000 here, I don't care if you have $100. It's the same thing, guys. Money is money, right? And I have one rule for you, and one a little bit of inspiration for you today, right? My number one rule is, let's go through a few of the rules, and I'm just going to come up with them in my head, right? This is what I live by. Okay, the first thing is to don't go to zero. What I mean by zero, you can lose 99% of your money. Don't go to zero. That's my number one rule, right? Because a lot of times in my journey, I lost 99% and I made it back, right? So even if you had $1,000 and you're down to $50, don't go zero, right? $50, you build your way up. The second one, keep it very simple. Okay, don't predict so much. Move where it is, trade strength, right? And the third one is to just take breaks. Through wins, through losses, just timing, right? So if this goes against me right now and it drops down, okay, I am not FOMOing back in. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm going to put the trend line in. When the trend breaks, time it better, get the win, right? Get the win, get something in, get things going. After that, my fourth rule, don't stumble when you are winning, okay, or losing. No fumbling the ball. Before you take the trade, I've already planted 2 scenarios of this. I'm comfortable with either. I'm not going to sit and stress if it goes against, and I'm not going to get too googly-eyed if it wins, right? I'm not going to change the thesis. I'm not going to change the trade, right? Make your mind up now and have the confidence and respect for yourself to stick to it. Don't change it, right? The moment you change it and stuff like that, that's where errors start to come into play, right? I even saw this morning, I saw a lady that was driving, okay, and sometimes with me in the car, like, I got a commitment thing. So if I see it's a crossway and I see there's the space, I commit. I get through, no problem. This morning, I saw a lady, she went, stopped, went, stopped, went, stopped, hooters going off, nearly an accident. She was fine, okay? But you see what happens when you, I'm going to go, oh, I'm going to stop, I'm going to go, I'm going to stop, right? When you hesitate, that's when errors start to happen. Have the confidence, have the plan, stick to the plan, don't be stressed, and don't count it as a loss. You count it as a loss at the end of the week, right? Or the end of the day, right? Stay in the game, stay focused. Super important. Couple of my rules. Okay, so just explaining to you guys, that is the process right now. That is why I've taken the trade. Can I have some likes go through the roof, please, while I have a sip of water and we get ready to go on to Bitcoin? Okay. Let's go. Okay, let's jump to the next. So let's go quickly through Bitcoin. We're not much further away than what we spoke about yesterday. We spoke about 2 blocks. So these are only 2 blocks that are really important right now for Bitcoin, as well as a trend line. Just want to show you guys that we have quite a bit of support here. As it stands right now, very likely we should see some buying power from here and make our way up to the top areas. If we do decide to go a little bit lower, I do see Bitcoin holding the 103, 104 and this trend for now. If we decide to change it, then I'll be here tomorrow to say, okay, we're going to go a bit deeper. Here's the plan. Here's the shorts, right? Remember, now we're just going to move with the market. You want to get bearish? No problem. We'll short you, right? We're going to make the money and we're going to move on quick. But as it stands right now, we're still bullish. I still have a bullish approach. I still have bullish views. So as it stands now, a push up to here. And the moment we crack through, there's definitely a short squeeze wall busy building up right now at this area of the 107. Right. After that, there's a short squeeze to the 112. And that's ultimately, so today, this is where I'll be paying attention to possibly building positions, putting some stops in. Okay, let's go through it. So here's the total 3. Total 3 is telling you right now, if we're bullish, we're in the area to build some positions. Right, I'm talking trading positions as well. When it comes to high time frame, you know me, I'm very bullish on high time frame. It's taking time. Okay, but when it comes to trading, this is telling me that we are in a nice, strong zone over here at the moment. So when it comes to trades and actually looking at things, here's AVAX. Okay, so why days like today I'm not nervous to take entries in the market, okay, is because I have a good understanding of my risk. So if I look at where we are now, there's the bottom trend, and I also put in some Fibonacci's, right? It will tell me that a good area to protect myself on AVAX. So I can go full bull here. right? Where to protect myself is 17.1. Okay, so if I look at risk-wise, right, I'm looking at around 3%. So this is not something that I'll 20x or anything like that, unless you're buying 5% in small amounts. Where is this trade? Is it coming down? Okay, we're coming to my entry. Okay, so I want to quickly explain this to you while we're here. Because this is the important part, right? If things maybe start to go against or things like that. So as it stands now, we did lose this little trend here. Remember, okay, we haven't lost it yet. Remember, there is a lot of support in this entire area here. So we must keep that in mind. Okay, so what I want to see here now next, okay, is the Fibonacci's, which does mean that it may take a little bit of time before it goes up again. Okay, you can see we're on 618. So this, for me, is the last line of supports for us to bounce. Otherwise, we are going down to those lower levels. And I am perfectly fine with that. Okay, there we go. So there's the zones for now. This is where we should hold. If it does decide to go in here, what maybe it's deciding to do is maybe doing something like this and then breaking out. We mustn't be surprised if it takes a little bit of time here after a dump. It's what the market does. Okay, so just explaining that to you. If it goes down, I told you guys, I then put that trend in and we get a little bit later. 𝗦𝗵𝗂𝗏, I will be letting you guys know if I'm exiting, if we get stopped, where I'm exiting again or entering again. Okay, so AVAX for me is in a good area for a spot trade or a low leverage trade. At any point now, we're getting ready for a push up to these zones. So there is a good 20-30% trade incoming. We go through a bunch of them. So there is Doge, right? You can see I have the main momentum trend line at the bottom. There's the support zones, right? If we look at a bunch of them, here is Chainlink. Chainlink broke out of that trend as well as the bottom trend. So remember what I'm always looking to do is when a token is basically coming down, I'm paying attention to the top trend for a breakout. Once it has broken out, I'm also paying attention to the bottom trends to help me get an idea of where to put my stop loss. Okay, so now that you've seen that, same thing. Where did we break out? We have broken out over there. We are retesting. There's the bottom area. So if I'm looking to put a stop loss, it's very much likely I'm putting a stop loss in the zone over here. What you can also do is you can add in a Fibonacci, pop that in, okay, and you can make sure your stop is below the 786. Mustn't be afraid on days like today. Remember, guys, it can be 1%, 2% of profit. Doesn't matter. Just start, right? Big thing, big thing. Okay, let's jump to the next here. Let's go through.
The on-air sign isn't on, so does that mean I can come and disturb you? Because the on-air sign isn't on.
Oh, is it not on?
It is on. It is on.
What are you? Oh, is it on? What are you longing or shorting or?
What am I longing?
Or are we going down one more time? I haven't watched your shows. So.
Zeno.
What the hell's that? How do I spell that? How do I spell it? What's the ticker?
Z-A-N-O.
Zeno. That sounds like a bit of a dodgy coin, huh?
It's a privacy coin, bro. It's a privacy coin. Draw the chart. See what the chart looks like.
Oh.
How's that chart looking? I need to see.
Yeah, it looks perfect.
There.
Yeah, it looks perfect to buy the top. Perfect. Thank you, bro. Okay, Zeno. Rand says buy Zeno as an investment, but TP when it runs. Okay, let's jump through. Okay, the next one again that has actually come back. This is opportunity, guys. So this is why we don't chase pumps. But when you see this long, I'm paying attention. It's still a couple of hours away. I know we were here yesterday. Still a couple of hours away from Dash breaking out, but keep an eye on that. It's telling us around 16 hours away. Keep an eye on that because Dash, there will be an opportunity. So this is a token that I put on my radars. I put an alarm system in. When it's ready, it's a token I'm moving to. So if I'm trading Zcash today, I'm trading it cool, but then in a couple of days, let's say now I get to Portugal on Saturday and Dash is breaking, then I'll move from Zcash and I'll move to Dash, right? But I want to see some strength first. Right now, there's no strength. Let's pop through, show some strength, and then I am ready to rock it. There is Cardano on support, right? Just to show you guys. Let's actually go look at ETH. I haven't charted ETH in a while. Okay, so ETH, the bottom support, there's actually a bit of space here to this support over here. So this gives me an idea, maybe a little bit more downside before we go up. Okay, possibly down to not much, 1 or 2%. Leverage it is a lot though. And then we pop this through here, and this one's indicating the same thing. Okay, so same thing here. Right now as it stands, we go down, when we get ready for this little pop off over here. That is on ETH. When it comes to Bitcoin dominance, it did start breaking in our trend a little bit more. So something like this, all we are looking for, guys, is we're looking for the lower high. So what that means is here and then drop off. There is a lower low here. So lower high and then drop off. So it just means this little period will take a bit of time, but the moment the market really gets strength and bounces, that's why, you know, if you look at the market cycle, if you jump on any sort of time frame, right, when you see a dump, it needs this little period first before it goes up again. Right, and that's explaining exactly this over here. So don't be surprised if you're buying here and it's still got to go through this little piece before it goes up again. That's a part of the game. You are fishing when no one is fishing. You get through that piece, you're the one that reaps the reward and the speed up. And that's when everyone else comes FOMOing in and wanting to look for new trades, right? All about being a step ahead of the game. Okay, let's go through more over here. I see my views have dropped quite a bit since I've gone to trading. And it's cool because it's going to evolve back in. But guys, it's time to get back to what it is, right? Trading the markets. This for me is what changed my life. And this is what's going to get back to. You know, I truly believe, you know, a lot of people have money. They've made money in their lives. They got some savings. They can invest. It takes time. But a lot of people don't. And I was one of those that didn't have money, right? And family didn't have money. I didn't have any backups. I didn't have anything, right? So this was truly the life-changing skill that helped me. You know, was the trading and building. And it was just, again, I used to use 100% of my money. Now I use 10, 20, 30% of cash. I don't trade so much of it anymore, just because the stress levels go up a lot more the more cash you use. But it's definitely one of the best skills to have within the markets. Let's see. Anything else that is nice and popping strong? Remember, guys, 𝗬𝗡𝗄𝗡, I'm going to be filling up this account. So anyone looking for a good exchange, 𝗬𝗡𝗡 is incredible. Link below in the description. As well as Blowfin, you guys can choose which one you love, as well as building any Bitfunded accounts. Bots, did we launch our bots, brother? Let's see, what bots have we got here? We got an Injective bot.
Yes, sir, we launched them, Injective and ETH.
Nice, guys. So if you go below in the description here, you will find my bots. So here they are here. I'm buying and building bots here. So if you want to see any of these bots, here's the links below to copy the same settings. We have put stop losses. Make sure you got stop losses in play. We've learned from that, which is good. But I'm going in. I'm busy building. We still got about the money that I've put towards bots. How much have we got left there, Matt? How much are we in, percentage-wise? 50%, 60%?
Yeah, we're probably 50%, maybe 50% not even.
In. Yeah.
Let me just check.
Thank you, brother. So we're only 50% in on the bots right now. So not just slowly laddering in, guys. Slowly laddering in. Okay, amazing. Anything else? Let's see how my trade is doing. Did we bounce? Okay, we're still hovering. We're still hovering. Okay, guys, have a fantastic day. Lots of love to you all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's see how the trades go. And have a fantastic day. Let's make money. Bye-bye, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.